but obviously that's up to you.
Yeah, what's gonna happen now is I'm gonna put on the. I'm gonna go live, then I'm gonna give you a short introduction, and then you give me a countdown when the time's gonna start.
Okay, easy enough.
You just copy.
Yeah, no worries.
Audio. There we go. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to NGA. The next run is Driver You Are The Wheelman by thebpg13. Take it away.
Okie doke. Right, so we're all ready. Perfect. Right, so, quick introduction from myself. Welcome to Driver You Are The Wheelman. This is the PlayStation 1 version, not the PC version. We were doing it without glitches. And yeah, if we're ready on time, I'll count you down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so a few things you should know about this game. There is a few cutscenes, but thankfully we can skip them. The main glitch that we actually have, the main glitches that are in this game are in Los Angeles and on the very last mission in New York. Now, due to the fact that we will not be doing these glitches, it means that the missions will be harder, only a slight bit harder. So, a lot of people will probably remember this very first mission from Driver. It's very iconic, very tough from what a lot of people remember. But long story short, we have a specific way of doing this. And we can literally just do that, look back, do the reverse 180, do 360, and that's the interview done and dusted. There we go. Okay, so just to quickly reiterate something on this one, or just to mention something, I'm using the North American version of the game. Now, the North American version of this game, long story short, it is the fastest version we know of so far. We have a couple of versions. We have the Japanese version of the game, we have the European version, and finally we have the North American version. Now, for all intents and purposes, I will be using the North American version, and to help with frame rate and all that stuff, I'll be playing most missions, if not all, if I can, in this first person mode. This actually helps because what it allows you to do is it allows you to play the game a bit more smoother. The game, unfortunately, due to its hardware limitations, is a bit tricky. Long story short, due to the old hardware and stuff like that, the game doesn't like its own frame rate very much. So you'll expect to see a couple of times where I might be looking to say the left or the right like that to improve frame rate. For the most part, though, we shouldn't be too bad. This first mission actually requires us to wait, and once we're doing that, we can quickly have a look. So just to explain a few things about Driver 1. So we go through 4 cities. We go through Miami, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York, and we are playing as John Tanner, who is a undercover cop. And yeah, long story short, we're playing as part of the criminal underworld. So it's a case of making sure that you don't do anything, say, stupid and trying to blend in with the criminal underworld. We were taken on as part of a gang called Castaldi later on down the line, and things get a bit haywire as you'll see in some of the missions. So these first few missions are kind of just to introduce you to the mechanics of the game. There's no like point in Driver that is seen as, say, a tutorial stage, because the interview is essentially a tutorial. It's a very hard one at that. Like, you think of a lot of games that have tutorials and you think, oh well, most of them are quite easy to introduce into the game. The reason, like I said, with the interview, it is a very difficult first mission, and that is essentially your training. You have to make sure under all circumstances that you can actually get through that mission. If you fail that mission, then you're not going to survive the rest of this game. I hate to say it. But yeah, so far, the police, by the way, are a major, shall we say, RNG on this game. So like they can spawn right at the very end of a mission, which is obviously not very good for us because we don't want that. For the most part though, it's not too bad. We have several missions that we're going to be doing in each one, so you'll notice like now we get to go back to our apartment and we get to select missions from a vending machine. And we're going to be selecting the second mission in this case. And in this mission, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be helping out a guy simply known as Tico. We don't actually know his second name, we just know that he wants a ride to somewhere. Now this is where the game kind of turns violent. Now there's no blood or violence or anything like that. However, there is sounds of gunplay in this game. Like the only thing that you hear that is in terms of any sort of violence is gunshots, but they're heard very briefly. You don't hear them very often, and they're not a huge part of the game, but you can kind of understand what is going on simply by the gunshots. So some missions have just literally get from point A to point B, and in this mission we literally have to get here, pick this guy up here, simply known as Tico. The police guy didn't stop for some odd reason. Okay, so this cop's decided he wants to follow us. Hopefully, there we go. So one of the things that we need to do here, one thing I often do, is look to the left and the right hand side. You'll see that our frame rate is very, very bad in the game right now. However, you can kind of release, I don't know, sort of release the frame rate a little bit by doing this. You can just look to your left and your right. Like I said, it allows the game to kind of relax because it's not looking as much. Occasionally the game might really slow down and there's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. But I will try my best to see if we can get through this without any, frame rate lags and so on. Hopefully we can lose this guy before the end of the mission, fingers crossed. And can we lose him before the end of the mission? Yes, we can. And he somehow spotted us. That's not good. Because now what this means is... There we go. That's good. As long as you can get the guy more nearer to the house than anything else, that's not actually that bad. So the main one we ought to do is we ought to make sure our car is sort of in the driveway. As you hear the shooting going on there. Like I said, you do hear gunshots, but you don't see him carrying weapons or anything like that whatsoever. Which isn't too bad. So this next mission we're going to be doing, this is actually like part 2 of the said mission. So some missions actually carry over to the next mission. Some missions are made so you have to do them, and some are completely different to one another. So for example, in this mission, it's called the cleanup, and we have to go and pick up a car. Now, it's not specified why this is, even if you watch the cutscenes, they don't specify why you have to go and pick up a car. I do believe that in the job description there is a reason as to why you have to pick this car up. I do not know why, but it's part of it anyway. I don't know. Don't ask me why. But it's just part of this game. It's just part of the story, part of the plot, so to speak. Can I get good RNG here? Yes, I can. Please. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. That's really good. So like the main missions that like I said we use a glitch on normally, which obviously we won't be doing for the sake of this run, it being glitchless and everything. But we do a glitch where it allows us to go outside of the map and allows our car to sink, so to speak. And yeah, if when you sink the car just decides that we're going to sink and we're also not going to do anything that we need. Anything that we need properly. It's pretty daft, really. But it's a neat little trick for completing missions faster, let's just put it that way. Like for example, in the final mission, you can complete the last mission in about 50 seconds to a minute. Whereas if you do it without glitches, it takes about 4 or 5 minutes. So we will be losing time in that regard, but for the most part, like I said, this run is relatively straightforward. There is one or two missions that it's actually quicker to do without the glitch. Like, I sometimes use a glitch in one mission in particular, on the final part. And unfortunately, we won't be doing that in this mission, in this run, because of the fact that, long story short, if we did do it, then it wouldn't be too great, as the police decide that they want to gang up on us, which isn't nice of them. Oh dear, this isn't good. Okay, that's fine. Phew. Has its perks when it does that. Okay, we're fine, we're in the clear. But yeah, this mission can sometimes be a real bugbear at times. Normally it isn't, but it's not that bad. Luckily it's being actually alright with us today. Unfortunately, the police can spawn twice over, like this. You can play chicken with them, at which point they'll bail out halfway through, which is nice. I do need to be cautious about police and stuff like that. Hopefully there isn't one waiting for me at the end of the mission. Like I said, it is purely RNG whether we get police or not. So if we do end up getting a police car at the end, this is just plain unlucky. Looks like we haven't. I can simply smash the car at the end here. There we go. So that is that mission done. The next one, I believe, is Tanner meets Rufus. And on this mission, we basically just need to go meet somebody. He's a contact who's living in Miami. And has like an inside, so we say an inside line to the gang. But he's the guy that we have to go and meet first of all, so it's pretty fun. Usually this is kind of seen as like one of the main points in this game, which is pretty difficult. In most people's cases anyway, but as you'll see through just driving, it's actually not that hard. You get there with about 20 or 30 seconds to go. But that's presuming you're putting your foot down all the way through. So that's actually not too bad. So you'll notice on the top left, I haven't even explained this yet, but you'll notice on the top left that we have a damage meter and a felony meter. And as the felony meter fills up, it's the more aggressive the police get. Obviously, the more damage you take on, the worse your car's going to be. It's not going to handle any differently. Thankfully, it's not one of them games where it handles too much differently. So the more you wreck a car, the worse it's going to handle, etc. It's actually not like that. It's not that sort of a game. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. It's kind of, no matter how wrecked your car is, you can still drive the car perfect. Now some missions, as you'll see in one of the very few missions coming up, we actually have a mission where we are not allowed to take that much damage, otherwise the mission will fail. So a few missions, obviously you have a few missions, most of them include getting from point A to point B without getting too badly damaged. Most of them just have a time limit like this one, where we have to get from A to B without, obviously, first of all getting our car destroyed, and second of all without going over time limit, without time expiring. For this one mainly it's quite easy, you just follow this main highway. There's actually 3 highways in this game. This is the first highway. The second highway, I believe, is quite thin, and you will see that very, very shortly. And the third highway, which is very thin, we don't actually use at all. That was rather lucky, actually. I'm quite happy that we actually managed to lose them there at the end. Like I said, it's quite lucky that you're able to lose them at the end sometimes. Most of the time, you'll have to just wreck the police and just hope that whatever happens, that you don't get destroyed in the process. So this is one of our first chase missions coming up. This is called Bust Out Jean-Paul, who I think is a French robber, I'm not quite sure. But basically he's in a police car and we have to wreck the police car to get him out. Now hopefully, if the AI is good enough with me today, it should be. It is. Yeah, it is. Nice. Okay, so this often happens. Also, that was pretty good, the fact that it stopped. Nice. Okay, cool. So we actually got him quite quick there. That was pretty good. Quite impressed with that. But long story short, we bust out Jean-Paul by destroying that car. And then the second part, we now have to get into a safe house. Now, if you remember before, I was saying about the... I was saying about that little thin highway. Yeah, we've now got to go over this thin little highway. And let me tell you, it is not fun with the police. Like, the sooner, not the less sooner, like, the less you can encounter the police on this bridge, the better. So ideally, we've actually got a good one here. So the police will often do that. They will often start, if they get in front of you, you can just drive up behind them slowly, and it won't be too bad. Then we have police like this, where they're often coming straight towards you. This is obviously a bad sign. It's not too bad actually, we can make this, I think. But the police will often do like roadblocks and stuff like that to try and stop you. Thankfully, I don't think we've got enough felony yet to have roadblocks. I could be wrong. No, we haven't. Okay, thank God we haven't got enough felony to get roadblocks yet. So roadblocks are either deployed because of how much felony you've got, or from destroying too many police cars. Now, thankfully, in our case, and thankfully because the police are really stupid at the moment, we can actually lose these police really fast. Oh boy. And fingers crossed. Oh no. Oh god. Okay, please lose him. Please. Okay, we're not going to lose him, which means we have to do this and wait for him. Okay, right. The police guy is just taking the back now. Come on, dude. There we go. Okay. Ah, nice. Okay, we made it. Cool. This is nice. Like I said, this isn't too bad. The fact that we've got him, we had him right there and then. That's not even that bad. But we've done that mission. That was a pretty difficult mission. We've now got the one that I mentioned before, which is about getting a car from A to B, pretty much the entire map of Miami, without destroying it too badly. And this mission is called Superfly Drive. Now, the car is very fast. Its top speed is greater than anything else in the game, I believe. So it's very, very quick and can easily outrun police. However, the police are always on the lookout for this car. I think the car is stolen. So the police are already on the lookout for us, like they are in most of the missions anyway. And we've immediately got the police on us, which isn't good. But I think we should be okay, providing the car doesn't hit us, we should be fine. So we can literally just stay here, and we won't get hit by police. And because of our top speed, we can actually outrun the police, no problem. As you see, we're clearly outrunning them as it stands right now. Now, there's two different routes you can do this mission. The first one is, if you remember that little thin highway we took just now, we can actually take that very thin highway. Or we can take the big, thick highway, which is a lot safer. And even though there's more traffic, it's actually easier to maneuver the car. And less likely to get damaged. That being said, watch this now as I nearly smash the car up. Okay, right. Have a police car. This is fine. Usually we get pretty lucky and don't get a cop spawning there. It's important that we don't damage this car in any way, because even a slight bit of damage can really increase the damage bar, and that's obviously something that we do not want whatsoever. So like I said, due to the insane speed of this thing, we can literally bomb it down the motorway, highway, whatever you call it, whatever you like to call it in your country. We call it motorways over in the UK, and obviously highways I think it is in the US, but yeah, pretty straightforward like I said. We've got to make a left turn here, I believe. Yep. And now if we go straight, this will actually take us straight down another little highway, which we need to be careful of. And also it'll take us right to the end of the mission. Now this is quite tricky. It's important that we don't get, if we do get a police car, that we get rid of them ASAP, because if we don't, then we're in trouble. And believe me, we are in major trouble. Now I can decide to try and wreck the car at the end here. There we go. Okay, that was fine. And that was a pretty clear run as well. That was a really, really good run. So I'm quite impressed with that one. That was a really good mission. Which is exactly what we wanted. Allows us to get the run done faster anyway. Okay, so there we go. So we have 3 missions at this one here. You'll notice that I keep changing missions and stuff like that, but we have 3 missions here, and this is the quickest one, which is take out D'Angio's car. So there's this guy, he's been in our gang, and he's been messing with our gang and snitching to the police and everything. Obviously we're a cop, an undercover cop, but he's been snitching to the police, and the head of the gang doesn't like this one bit, so he wants us to take him out. So that is exactly what we're going to do, and I'm hoping he plays nice. Please play nice. I really want him to play nice for me, I don't want him to... Okay, right, we're not doing too bad so far. Now I can try it. Oh god, this is not too bad actually. I can take him here, I think. No, just need to get him. I think I can get him at the end there. Yep, I got him. Nice. So he's not usually too difficult. Sometimes he can be a pain in the ass, but he's not too bad there. And that is that mission done. We've got one last one, which is the informant. Now this is probably... If take out D'Angio's car isn't too hard of a mission, then you'll find Superfly Drive is quite hard. And finally this mission. Now this mission can easily go... It can easily be messed up. Mainly because it's set in the wet. And if there's something that this game seems to show off well with how hard it's pushing the PlayStation 1, it's whenever it rains in this game. So immediately the frame rate of this game decides that it wants to nosedive. It never, and I repeat never, even on an emulator, does not like running at 30 FPS when it rains. It just doesn't. If you can somehow get this game to... If you can get this game to run at 30 FPS when it rains, even on emulator, whether it's console, emulator, whatever, then it's seen as a pretty good emulator, and you've got yourself a really good computer. Like, even the settings for this game are pretty hard to get it to run in 60 FPS. Now, thankfully, the PC version doesn't have a problem with this whatsoever. PC version of this will run at 60 quite well. Also, that was pretty funny. Okay, right, so I need to make sure these cops don't wreck me too much. There we go. Okay, so, after a certain point, the cops are told to deactivate, meaning they cease to chase you. And I think it's there where she stops. Yes, it is. That's where she stops, thankfully. But that is the end of Miami. Like I said, that mission can be very difficult if you don't know what you're doing and you're not used to the physics, you know, rain physics, etc. It is quite hard, especially with the frame rate. We will have a few missions where the frame rate will take a nosedive, especially in the last mission. Like, I was doing a run of this last night and it took a nosedive in one mission in particular. I just couldn't handle it whatsoever. So we've now got out of Miami and we've now started working for a gang in San Francisco. They have now hired us to... Long story short, they've decided, you know what, we're going to hire you because we've heard about what you've been doing in Miami. We've heard that you've been helping rob banks and all that stuff. We want you to come and help us on the streets of San Francisco. So now we drive a completely different car. I have no idea. I've completely forgot what car this is supposed to replicate. But we're now driving a completely different car. And you'll notice, because we're in San Francisco, obviously, a completely different city. We get those famous hills, and of course the famous trams that are only in San Francisco. So one thing that we end up doing here is another one of those missions where we have to wait for the AI. But one of the main things that we have to do is, if we can stay to the right hand side here, we can actually catch them just as they're coming out, and that basically allows for a shorter time to get at them out of there. It also allows us for one other thing as well, which is, if I can get it, can I get it? Yes, only just. So one of the things that we end up doing here is, you'll notice that I managed to get it, but that's basically trying to beat the tram. We see it as like a little mini game. So it's something that's, it's not part of the game or anything like that. But it's one of, if not the main sort of things we do as a speedrunning community for this game. It's basically, if you can beat the tram, then that's seen as pretty good for this mission. It's a weird, like I said, it's a weird gimmick. It's nothing, it's just for a bit of fun anyway, but it's kind of, if you can beat the tram, that's pretty good, because that actually saves you probably about a second or two. Although it depends how your driving is. So just like in Miami, there is like a sweet spot where you can't be touched, where you can't be hit. And in this mission, I believe it is right here. So right here, we can't be touched, supposedly. If we stay around here anyway, we can't be touched. So one of the things that you can do, though, is, if I can get it, there. So one of the things that we can do is, rather than, I used to always go into the main area for that mission, but turns out we didn't actually need to go into that main area. So you usually have to go into the warehouse and everything. But if you grind against the wall, then yeah, it's completely fine. It's not too bad, and it works quite well. So we get 3 missions here, and the one we want to do is Fisherman's Wharf. So there's a fisherman who's waiting for us currently at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, and unbeknownst to us, we have no idea why he wants to contact us. He says, "Oh yeah, come see me down Fisherman's Wharf. I've got some stuff for you." And obviously, as you saw by the title, we know what said stuff actually is. Long story short, he wants to sell us some weapons. Now, I still have no idea why he wants to sell us some weapons, but I'm guessing it's because we work for a gang and all this stuff. I'm guessing he's linked with a gang, but I don't really remember. Possibly. The other thing as well is you get around 3, as you saw at the top, we have around 3 minutes to get to this point. Now, it's not like we have 3 minutes to get to this point and then go somewhere else and then etc. They give us 3 minutes, but it actually doesn't take 3 minutes at all. In fact, it takes around 50 seconds to get to this point, which is pretty good. I mean, which I'm pretty impressed with. And one of the things that we often do is that we often spin the car around, because then that way, when we get to the second part, as we skip this cutscene, we do a lot of cutscene skipping in this run. But as we get to the end, what it actually allows us to do is it allows us to put our foot down straight away and literally go the way we want to go to make the drop. So you notice that it's straight in front of us, and this saves us probably about 3 or 4 seconds, because in that time, obviously, turning the car around and all that stuff. Yeah, the plot for this game is a bit blurry in my mind, but I do know you're an undercover cop and you're working for a gang and all this stuff. You help out like witnesses and arrest people and kill people. But the killing of people you don't do. You're just a getaway driver, so you just help criminals get away from, you know, bank jobs and stuff like that. Fun fact about this game. So this game is actually based off a film in the 1970s called Driver. Sorry, The Driver, not Driver, The Driver. It was released in, like I said, 1978. I forgot who's the main film stars in it. But if you played a lot of this game, or like old 70s music and movies and stuff like that, then highly, highly recommend you go and watch Driver. Sorry, The Driver. I always forget. The. But yeah, highly recommend you go and watch it. It's a really good film. Also, that's pretty lucky. Right. Can I get lucky with the AI not spawning her? Is he going to spawn? Yes, he's going to spawn that way. Okay, that's good. So one of the main things that we don't want to have in this mission is we don't want to have any AI spawning there. It's an ending bid war on about this game. Nice. Any idea what the bidding was up to currently, by the way? Because that's obviously going to decide the ending of this run. So this mission, we get a few missions. So currently it's my choice. Wicked! Awesome. Nice. I'd probably end up picking the alley ending because that's the one I know the most. So this mission's quite short, it's quite fun. So we get to terrify this poor guy for information. So what you can actually do to make it speed things up is just spin the car around a bit. Now the other thing is as well is he doesn't like damage or anything like that. There we go. Yeah, that's one thing that he doesn't like. He doesn't like being spun round or smashed into other cars. Why would you? That would be the worst taxi ride ever. So, shortly after this taxi mission, we have two other missions that we have to do. So we have the Mercy mission and Cozy to the Chopper. Now I believe, if my mind is correct, this one is, obviously I was about to say it, but Cozy to the Chopper. So this is again, remember I said before, the frame rate takes a nosedive when it rains. So in this mission it starts off quite well, nice and easy, frame rate's not an issue, much. But when we get to picking him up in a second, when we go up hills and everything, the frame rate just takes a nosedive, so about here. So just to make the frame rate run a bit better, I always end up looking to my right here, even if there is cars in front of me. Just because it does actually speed the frame rate up a little bit. So you're not actually given long to go and to go and pick this guy up, but then you've now got to actually take him to this chopper, which he has waiting for him on the other side of town. Now, thankfully, this mission is fun and also pretty hard. Now, I will just state the obvious here, because it's raining. Expect a few crashes like that, because of the fact that going in high speed in the wet is not easy, is not fun. However, this game is a challenge, and this is what this game aims to do. It aims to challenge us, which it's going to do at its hardest. It will have AI that just miraculously decides to turn right because they think it's their turn. So one of the things I'm going to end up doing a lot is sticking to either the left or the right of these junctions, just so that I don't get hit by oncoming traffic. Like that. That was nearly ended in disaster. Okay. Come on, go, 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 go! I don't want the cop to see me, that's all. Okay, cop's not seen me. Okay, that's actually really good. If the cop had seen me, then there's a chance that we could have more police on us. Also, so, remember I said before the police are completely RNG on where they spawn? So far, and as it stands right now, the police are actually being really kind to us and are barely spawning in our direction. So some missions can actually end up like this, thankfully. Unfortunately I have to say that, but yeah, fortunately in this mission, most missions it does matter if you have a police tail at the end. So if you have a police car and you get to the end of the mission, the game doesn't like that and goes, no, you've got to lose the tail and blah blah blah. However, in this mission, the game simply doesn't care. So one of the things that I ended up finding out the other day about this is you can actually do that. If you can get the car, that's actually a perfect angle as well. So if you can get the car to spin and start sliding backwards slowly, you can actually get him to walk less to the helicopter. This is basically saving time. And ready for really good helicopter graphics. Watch those propellers go nuts. Yeah, weird glitchy mess that is the PS1. So that is the first mission that is mandatory. We actually have to do this mission. We have no decision. We have to do it. That's the first mission. The second one is called the Mercy mission. Now this one is broken up into 3 parts. Part 1 is to get from your apartment to a phone booth. Part 2 is to get from phone booth to phone booth, which is quite short. And part 3 is to get from, I believe it's the second phone booth to the third phone booth. Now, the game does not give you any context as to what you're actually doing. It assumes that you've watched the cutscene or you have a familiarity of how this mission is going to work. Now, unfortunately for us, we don't watch the cutscene, so we have absolutely no idea. Hence the reason why I was explaining it. Somebody's been kidnapped, basically, and we've got to basically rescue them by getting from telephone to telephone. It's basically a ransom. Now, fortunately for us, these telephone lines are actually not too far away from one another. I know, convenient, right? And we also know exactly which ones to get to because the guy who's threatening us with a ransom for this murder, kidnap, sorry, he has told us exactly where to go. And yeah, not the smartest move, but whatever. I do believe I didn't want to do that, but whatever. So that's part 1 done. Part 2, like I said, is a lot shorter because of the fact that we have to get from one phone booth to another one, which is a couple of streets away. The final one is a lot longer, but because there's more straight line that we can do, you know, we basically have to turn less corners. It makes it a lot easier. So that was pretty unfortunate that I actually... It was a bit unfortunate that I hit that lamppost. I was hoping that I could get pretty close to said lamppost, not actually hit it. So one of the things I never used to do on this mission was take this route, which I think I might start taking now. Yeah, long story short, we literally just travel all the way down this road here. And there's another phone booth waiting with the phone ringing where we actually have to get to. Now the thing is, here's a fun fact. So on the PlayStation version you have 3 stops to make. This being part 2, you know, this is the second stop that we have to make. Now, unfortunately, on the third and final stop, for the PlayStation version, the PC version treats that as... That's still the third stop, except the PC has an extra stop, which is further down at the end of the... further down at the end of the map. Why this is a thing, I don't know, but it just is. So this is part 3. This is the supposedly finale to this mission, and we get to actually, I would say take down the guy, but it turns out we find out that it belongs to a guy called Slater. He's part of the picture, and we need to get rid of him. Now we don't know this until, like I said, until later on. Also, that was really close. Thank God the AI didn't hit me there. But yeah, it's, like I said, pretty enjoyable game. I enjoyed these missions a lot. I used to hate Driver, funnily enough. I used to hate this game at one point. But I've slowly started to like it again due to, obviously, well, first of all, speedrunning purposes, and second of all, how much easier the missions have felt to me since playing it properly. Like, I'm really considering doing runs of this game on hard now because I've built up enough confidence to play it properly. Like, yeah, let's just see how hard the game is. I did complete the game on hard not too long ago, a few weeks ago. Not on stream, unfortunately, but I did complete like the entire undercover mode with hard cop difficulty, using glitches and all that stuff. But yeah, it's like I said, pretty phenomenal game, especially it was way ahead of its time as well. This was another thing, the game was way ahead of its time back in the 90s. I think it was 1999 when this game came out, so yeah, pretty good. So that is the Mercy mission done and dusted. We've now got 2 missions left to tackle. So we now have what is known as the setup. And this is actually the first mission that pops up. We don't actually have to change a mission or anything like that. This is the main mission that we're going to be doing. So we're going to do this mission, and then we have a mission called Tanner and Slater. Now, Tanner and Slater is one of them missions where we have to chase another car, and we will have one literally no less than 2 missions later. Also, one of my favourite parts, like favourite soundtracks, is coming up right now. So the getaway music for this. This getaway music, it's actually one of my favourite soundtracks in the game, so yeah, I'm going to try and be quiet and you guys enjoy it. Also, that was pretty lucky. Oh, that wasn't. Oh, don't hit me. Thank God for that. I was like, please don't hit me. Okay, so they've told us we need to get to the garage. There's a meeting and all this stuff. Well, there's a reason it's called the setup. Because now, guess what? Yep, here comes the setup part. We've been set up. No surprise there. The funny thing is, the question I've got to ask is, why go somewhere if you know you're going to get set up? This is what I don't get. Like, why would you go somewhere? Someone went, oh yeah, can you go to this garage? We're going to set you up. Why would you go if you know you're going to get set up? Supposedly, there was a meeting for a load of cash, I think it is, so... It's pretty weird. I don't know how to explain this one. So, I think it's here that I have to turn left. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. But yeah, I think, given the fact that how well this run's gone so far, I think we're doing quite well on time. As it stands right now. I mean, like I said, I've got another mission to do after this, which is relatively short, if all goes well. And I also have a chase mission in Los Angeles as well. Also, this cop, for some strange reason, always seems to spawn here. Just always spawns. Oh yeah, he also loses sight of you in a minute as well. Assuming that he doesn't see me going here, which you will. He's stupid, you will. Is he coming in here, or is he going to stay there? Come on, dude. Come on. Come on, in here. There we go. There we go. Okay, right. That actually wasn't too bad. So unfortunately that he's stuck outside of the... he gets stuck sometimes there, which is not a problem, because you can always just drive out and go for it from there. Well, yeah, did alright on time there, I think. Okay, so this is the final mission in San Francisco. This is Tanner and Slater. Now, Los Angeles is relatively short, by the way, so... I would say blink and you'll miss it, but not really. Okay, so he should turn right, which he does. I think he's going to turn left. I can't quite remember if he does. No, he's not going to, is he? There we go. There we go. Okay. So that is San Francisco done. It's more of a case of just focusing on focusing on everything and making sure that he gets destroyed. So we didn't actually get him at the first hurdle, which is a bit of a bad thing, but never mind. So I actually need to remember which mission this is now. I think it's the first mission. I could be wrong though. Yeah. So out of all the missions, we actually have we have 4 missions to do. We have steal a cop car, the chase, the Maddox hit, and finally the test run. Now, steal a cop car is relatively straightforward. You get from A to B with a cop car, which is nice. We actually get to drive a cop car, which means we're back in our normal colours, so to speak. I think originally Tanner actually hails from Los Angeles. I could be wrong though. I'm not quite sure which department he works for. Maybe it's San Francisco, I don't really know. Yeah, this is relatively simple. We just have to get from point A to point B without wrecking the car. Thankfully there is kind of a no-hit spot, if you can nail it, that is. Also, I haven't, because my car has unaligned itself. There we go. That's nice. Okay, so one thing I hate doing is going through here without looking at anything, which is kind of nerve-wracking to be honest. There we go. Okay, cool. So, I just need to get the car lined up. It's not lined up properly. Yeah, it should do it. We should be fine. Also, cop on the other side of the road. I'm just going to quickly do that. So we need to make sure that our car is not severely wrecked. Like, by that I mean, we need to make sure that whatever happens, we do not wreck this car very well. Now usually when we do this mission normally, we use a glitch which can turn this mission from like a mission that will take around 2 or 3 minutes to do, and it will take around, I don't know, 3 minutes? sorry, from like 3 or 4 minutes to about 40 seconds, which is pretty good. But yeah, like I said, the main idea of the glitch that we use, obviously, like I said, we're not going to use it in this case because of it being an unglitchless run and everything. But long story short, your car goes out of bounds, your car sinks, and then from there, it's just a simple case of guiding your car from A to B without it getting destroyed. That's pretty much the idea of it. Okay, right. Hopefully there's not a cop waiting at the end here. There was yesterday. There isn't. That's actually really good. And no damage as well. Nice. Okay, so our next mission, after we've done that one, our next mission is the chase. This should go down quite well if I get good RNG. If I don't, then it's no big deal. Just to ask as well about the bidding war as well for this game. It will be over when... I probably need an ideal number when we get to the end of the next mission. So not this one, but the end of the Maddox set. Just because then I can select the ending of the story. Because it starts in New York, that's the ending. So I think he's about to turn right, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Got you. There we go. Okay. So Duval wasn't too much of a pain in the ass, but that's not too bad. Okay, so we've got Duval, we've done the chase. So the next mission we have to do is something called the Maddox sit. And this is about 5, maybe 6 minutes long, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so the ending bid war, it'll probably end after we've done the final mission in New York. Not in New York, so the final mission in Los Angeles, which is the test run. So ideally, if you could tell me what's won before the end of the test run, then that'll be great. And then we can know which side's won. If not, then I'll just do the normal route, which is Ali's ending.
There seem to be no incentives for that, so you're free to do which ending you choose.
Yay! Okay, I guess we're gonna do the ending then. I'll do Ali's ending then, I think. Okay, so yep, that's what we're going to do in Ali's ending then in that case. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully things go to plan. I'm hoping we can get this like down and nail it to a T. So this mission has 3 parts to it. So we have part 1, which is going picking up the Chinese hitmen. I think it is, or picking up the hitmen. I think they're Chinese, I'm not sure. I can't remember the nationality, but yeah, we have to go and pick up these 3 guys from this car park because that wouldn't look dodgy or anything, would it? So that's the first one. The second part is getting to a... Oh, that's it. No, sorry, I know where I've got the Chinese bit from. Because we have to take them to a Chinese theatre where they're performing said hit. There we go. Okay, so we picked up the 3 hitmen. Like so, as they slowly get in the car, there we go. So we now got to get them to a Chinese theatre, and then from the Chinese theatre we've then got to get to the safe house. Now between parts 2 and part 3, which is getting them to the Chinese theatre and getting them to the safe house, we will have a little cutscene which will show off the the assassination. Now, fortunately, obviously, I will be skipping it for obviously reasons which is obvious. You know, not showing any of the cutscenes because as much as the storyline's interesting, also he got in my way. Also, come on, frame rate, pick up a bit. Gee whiz. Please, any time today would be nice. There, okay. It's picking up slightly when I'm doing that, that's not too bad. There we go. That'll do. But, like I said, the main thing of this mission is I need to make sure that I don't get too much felony off the police. Just because of the fact that if I do pick up too much heat, then it's going to be quite difficult to... yeah, it's going to be quite difficult to get from the Chinese theatre to... what is it? The Chinese theatre to the safe house. Now, thankfully, I haven't damaged the car too much. Also, this cop behind me should lose me in a second. Hopefully I don't get another cop, which I did. I just had to say, I hope I don't get another cop. I should lose them both here, though, in a second. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Right, there we go. Nice. Okay, so that's part 2 done. We get a quick cutscene, but like I said, we are going to skip this. Just because of the fact that we don't want the cutscene, we don't care for it. They try to assassinate, but they apparently miss. So, hence the reason for why this mission exists. Okay, so there's nothing in front of us. You can hear police sirens, and that's actually supposed to be the burglar alarm for the place that we've just tried shooting, supposedly. Oh, that was pretty close. So, oh, okay, right. So I think we haven't got enough felony for roadblocks, which is great, because that means that what we can do here is I can actually get to the safe house without having any police. Hopefully we'll lose them. Yes, we do. Nice, okay. I don't really want a couple out here, but I've got one. Oops. Okay, right. Cross nose the other side of the road, because I can. There we go. Okay, so the one thing that seems to work... oh no. What in the hell did he want? Okay. So one of the things that seems to work quite well here is the frame rate here. You can speed the frame rate up really easy by simply looking to your right here, which is really strange. I don't know why that's a thing. It just works. Now, I'm hoping we can get a cop coming towards us. Oh no, he's going away from us. This is pretty insane luck if I can pull this off. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is really lucky. Okay, so we've done the Maddox hit. That is one of the one of the actual missions. That used to give me a lot of grief. And no word of a lie, that mission used to be like my arch enemy. I used to hate that mission. I could never get past it whatsoever. So that's that mission. Yeah, it probably was marathon luck, to be fair, PQ. I just need to remember which mission this is. Right, so the idea of the test run. Long story short, the gang's planning a test run. It's planning a job around town. Now to do this, what they need to do is they need a test run. This is where you come in. You're essentially the test runner. You've got to get from A to B. It doesn't give you a point. It gives you a point on the map to get to, but it doesn't give you like a message saying get to the destination in the fastest time as possible. Now there is such a thing as being too slow in this mission, which I never used to think was a thing, but it is. Actually, the quickest way of doing this mission, funnily enough, a lot of people would never do this, but it is actually the quickest way, so I'm going to stick to it. So the quickest way of doing this mission is to do this. Yep, driving oncoming traffic for about 2 miles. Now this is quite painful to do because not only am I looking left, I'm despawning traffic and also at the same time respawning it. So you can often get cars like that heading in your direction. Also, the cop just doesn't seem to care at all. He's also going in the wrong direction. He is now. He wasn't before, but not bad. Not doing too bad. Problem is when you get cops on your side, they're coming towards you like that. That's pretty painful. It's painful and horrendous at the same time. Oh God, there's a car. Okay, I avoided him. That's good. Where's the car? There it is. Dodge. Please dodge him. Okay, so that was to be expected. The fact that we have to dodge cars. Oh my God. So driving in the middle of the road, there is no way you can actually drive in incoming traffic. Sorry, in oncoming traffic that will actually stop you from being hit. So you kind of have to do it, play it tactically. It's like, do I look to my left or do I not? It's pretty difficult. There's also, you'll notice, a major amount of lag spikes that are going on. When I say lag spikes, frame rate drops, basically. So it is actually possible to, it is possible to be a bit slow, as in too slow on this mission. Like I said, don't ask me how. It is just too possible. It is possible to be just too slow. Now, I think the fastest time I've ever done this in is like a 2:30 or something like that. Also, frame rate, please loosen up a bit. Come on. I also didn't manage to slow down in time for this corner last time, so... There we go. Nice! 2:15. Pretty good. Okay, so that is Los Angeles done. We now have one other thing, which is... We've now got New York to tackle. Now, New York is one of the hardest, if not the hardest, set of the game. I have to remember which side of the story I want to do now. But the reason why I was saying, you remember how I was saying, like, well, New York's got a load of tough missions and everything. The first one is this one. This is extremely tough. This one and the rescue, which is the next mission. This one actually gives you a real hard time because of the fact that, well, in this one, you actually have to, let's just put it this way. Taxis are a pain. They want to kill you all the time. We have police, and to top it all off, if you notice in the top left corner, our damage is at 3/4 full already. Meaning we have to be extremely careful when to drive to the destination. Now, I always thought it was impossible for somebody to, you know, to actually do this mission without cops, but I've actually had it happen twice, where a police AI has not spawned whatsoever. Like, it's just really bizarre look. Like, you can have an entire mission of this where you get from A to B, but it's actually extremely rare that such a thing even happens, but it's really good when it does.
So you've got time for me to throw in a plug here.
Is there what?
Just gonna plug something. We have, if it's okay with you.
Yeah, sure.
We have now gotten the names of the save slot icons for Slime Rancher. That bid war is now fully underway. Please check it out with exclamation mark incentive. There. Carry on.
Nice, thanks. Oh, good. So, remember I said before about taxis wanting to kill you and stuff like that? There's actually 2 AI taxis, which I have reason to believe they're programmed into this game deliberately to try and kill you. So right at the end on this corner here, there's actually 2 AI taxis that seem to spawn, which are there. And I have no idea why, but I always think that they always want to try and kill you. Just because of the fact that they spawn, and that was really good as well. They just spawn out of, like, they have the same spawn rates every time. They always spawn there. And it's really bizarre because they always come, and I actually lost a really good run there once, where I was taking that turn, and I had any police whatsoever on the mission. I was doing really well. I had some police and it wasn't too bad. And then finally, I get to the end and the taxi hits me from the side, tips me over, and it's game over. I had to do the whole mission again. I was like, no. So it's happened before. I threw a really good run away. This is a major complaint in New York. Like I said, New York has a lot of difficult missions. The first hurdle is the rescue. If we can get through this on a first attempt, then this will be extremely good for us. That's ideally what I want. I want to try and get through this mission without the car getting too badly wrecked, without getting too many police cars on me, etc. That's the idea, that's the plan. Whether said plan will go through, I don't know. Also, he got in my way there, didn't he? Yeah, this mission is extremely difficult, like, really difficult. I wish it wasn't. I wish they'd actually... I mean, I don't think it would have made a difference if they'd made the weather dry instead of wet. But I also have a feeling that if it wasn't wet, then would it be much of a challenge? Would it still be a challenge even if it was dry? I don't know. It would help the frame rate though, because the frame rate is just slugging along slowly. Like slowly going, oh, go mate. I was actually waiting for that guy. I didn't know. Also, the AI seems to be pretty good today in its driving abilities. Bravo, cop. Oh no, that's not good. Okay, right. I had really bad taxis here last time. I didn't get any, yay! That's actually really good. Nearly hit him though. Thank God the cop hit him. There we go. There we go. Okay, slowly backing off. So we have 3 people that are going to walk over to us and get in our car. And we also have 3 cops that are about to join us. Fortunately, one of them tends to wreck themselves. I don't know why they do, they just seem to do it because they're silly. This is where the hard bit comes in. We've now got to escape 3 police, albeit if they wreck themselves that would be nice. So the way we've got to do this is we've got to follow this straight road here. It might seem simple. Originally the plan is to go across the bridge because it supposedly provides the fastest route, but I never believe that at all. Also, we have increased our felony, so the police are going to be hungrier than ever trying to get us. So I've got to dodge more police, so apologies if I go a lot. Yeah, this is like a very RNG, and as the cops get more difficult, ouch. As the cops get more difficult and more harsh in trying to take you down, it also becomes much more difficult to lose them as well. So one of the main things that we need to do is, oh thank God we've lost them. We'll probably get them again in a second. Isn't too bad. Also, they're spawning on that side of the road. Nice. Okay, right. So I need to kind of remember where I'm turning left here. There'll be a few cops on the road about now, I would imagine, blocking off the road. Or not. I'm just waiting for the cops to kind of spawn or start blocking off the road, because then that's when I know. Actually, I don't even need to worry about it now, because the turning... There we go. We need to turn here. There we go. Hopefully I can get there without them spawning again. They probably will, knowing our luck, but whatever. Okay, right. So we do have a cop. He's probably going to bring a friend in a second. Okay, so his friend is joining us, eventually. Right, his friend is joining us. Actually, I met up 2 friends. Whoa! Okay. Oh no, 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 no! Oh no, that's not good. Okay, so the cops are more aggressive. I don't know why that happened, but that did. Okay, that is really painful. Because that means we have to now redo the entire mission again. Like I said, this is the first hurdle. Unfortunately, that's actually 6 minutes lost because of the police doing what they've just done. Like I said, this is where it's kind of pull your hair out moment. That was actually really awful. I don't know, I don't understand why they decided they wanted to do that. Should still be way underestimate, but then again, if I've got bad luck here, God knows how the rest of the missions are going to go. Because, like I said, we actually have a mission coming up very short. I think it's not far off after this one. We have to trash some guy's wheels, which is relatively easy. We have something called the negatives, which is a really hard mission because it's a chase one. And it's very hard because the AI has 1 of 3 routes, and 2 out of 3 routes are extremely difficult. And then the final route, the final mission, which is the President's Run, is the hardest mission in the game. But if we can do it first try, then it's even better, because that means we get way underestimate. Olé! Also, there's no cop chasing me this time, not here, which is nice. Which means, if I'm lucky, there we go, that's better. Okay. Get me car. Quick, get me car, get me car, car. Go on, go, go, go. Right, okay. Hopefully the cops don't hit me now. Don't hit me, cop, please. Oh my god, there's 2 cops. And there's a taxi! Oh my god. Okay. Should be alright here. I think we'll be alright this time. We've not got any damage. Well, say any, we haven't got much. There we go. Okay, cool. I think this is going to be considerably better. Yeah, this should be a lot better. We've not got as much felony. The best thing is, if due to the amount of... Oh, I was going to say, due to the amount of felony, that doesn't mean we're going to get any cops whatsoever. Like roadblocks and stuff, but we've still got roadblocks. So this game's still going to be a pain. Like I said, unfortunately, the cops are completely RNG, so if we get taken out by cops, we get taken out. This is the major catch in Driver. Alright, okay, I think we should be okay here. Ooh, no, we're not. Okay. Okay, go, 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 go. Okay, my damage is going up slightly. My felon is quite bad, so I need to make sure whatever happens that this cop wrecks himself somehow, and that taxi decided to hit me. I do not know why, but he did anyway. Okay, please be kind to me, game. Please be kind. Okay, the AI hasn't spawned itself yet. Right, okay, he's spawned in a really good position. That's good. All I need now is to not spawn at the end here. He's going to do it anyway, because the AI loves doing this. There we go. Okay, we should be in the clear here. I don't know if we are. No, we're not. Okay, we're going to get 3 cops here, I can tell. Because the amount of felony I've got, I'm going to get another cop at the end. Yeah, I knew I would. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, right, so we're going to have to play a bit of follow my leader here. Which is a bit bad, but I don't mind, I'll play follow the leader. Thing is, the cops... the cops are going to be a bit more smarter now. They're going to start trying to wreck me. Come on, please. Come on, just hit these cops, please. Okay, right, we might be in trouble here. I don't know how I'm going to save this run. No, they're just not stop spawning. They won't stop spawning. Jesus Christ, this is the worst I've ever had it. No, I can't. I don't understand what the hell's going on. Oh my god, not now. Please don't give me the bad luck now. Okay, I only just made this run out alive yesterday. When I did this run yesterday, the only thing that went wrong was not this mission. The only thing that did go wrong yesterday was the President's Run. And that's the hardest mission. By the way, I don't suppose I'd be able to have a rough timestamp, do I? As in, like, what time we're up to?
We are currently on 1:10:40.
1:10:40?
Yes.
Ooh, this will be close. By now I shouldn't even be on this mission. I should be probably about a mission from the end or on the very last mission. So this is pretty bad. Also, I just want the cops to stop spawning because they just won't stop. I don't understand why they're not, they just won't stop. I don't have enough felony for the cops to keep spawning, it's really ridiculous. Okay, right. Hopefully the police don't spawn. Okay. Come on. Come get me. Right, that's one. Where's the other? Two. That's two. That's two there. That's... I don't even know where the third guy is. I don't care at this point. Where's he gone? Supposedly, what I'm supposed to do is take the bridge. But, yeah, I'm not going to be taking the bridge. Just because of the fact that if I do take the bridge, I could be screwed over big time. Because when the police block the bridge, with the roadblocks and everything, it's horrendous. Like I said, I'm really hoping we can, as it stands right now, it'll go under estimate easy. But I'm kind of getting a bit worried. Just because we failed this, I think, twice, maybe 3 times now. And it's right at the end of the mission as well when we failed it. So we spent like 5-6 minutes getting right to the end, and then basically the police screw us over, which is not what usually happens. To be honest, if there's one like part of the if there's one part of the game I needed luck on with the missions, it's this one. Not the President's Run, not anything else, just this mission. just because of how hard it is. Right, my car isn't damaged at all, so I've got plenty of damage left should the police decide to come and start attacking me. Say that. Come on, go, go, go. Don't tag that cop, please. Oh no, he's got him. I got him. Hang on, I can get rid of him. I can lose him. Lose him, lose him, lose him, lose him, lose him. Gone. No! Get out of my way, taxi! Out the way! Everyone, out the way! There. Okay. Done. Phew! Like I said, this mission, extremely difficult. Very, very difficult. Thankfully, that's the biggest one, the biggest hurdle, I'd say. Once we get past that, things should be a bit more downhill. So it should get easier now. Forgot about that. Granger's wheels. Right, so next mission. An easier mission. So what we've got to do here is there's a guy who goes by the name of Granger. And we've got to wreck his wheels. Nice and easy. Except for how the police spawn on this mission. The police spawn in a really weird location. And thankfully this mission is quite short. At least it can be if it's done right. But yeah, fairly short. It's usually about 2, maybe 3 minutes, I'm not quite sure. About 2 or 3 minutes normally. If you can get to Granger's car without any police, then it makes the mission a bit easier. Because the police will spawn when you get there. But usually I do encounter police before I get there. It doesn't seem like I'm doing. Okay, so I usually go in from the right side, so from this side, wreck his car, and then travel onto the left side. So this is where the AI bit comes in. There we go. Okay, usually I don't go this way, but first time for everything. Okay, so hopefully, if the AI is not too much of a pain, move, taxi. It's fairly easy, to be honest. There's not really much in the way of traffic. Might look like there's a lot of traffic, but honestly, it's not too bad. I can also do this if I can get far enough over. I can actually evade the police. Yeah, just about. Okay, and then that. So that's Granger's wheels trashed. We've now got to get the negatives, which is probably one of the hardest missions, if not the worst mission up until this point. We've had the rescue. The negatives is the worst chase mission. This is what I mean by the worst mission. Not the worst. The worst is the last mission by far. This one's just the worst because you've got to chase a car in the rain. And it slides everywhere and the AI is stupid. It's really funny though when the AI gets it wrong, it's funny. I think it has to turn left. I'm not sure which way it goes, to be honest. So we have to chase a taxi. So I think this should be fine. I can't remember if I can get this right now. Come on. All needs one more nudge. There we go. Got him. Phew. Okay, right. Luckily the AI went easy on me there. Not too hard. Okay, so Next mission. This is where Ali comes in. So you remember how there was an incentive for this game, and I usually use it all the time, but it's a case of you either have Ali's ending or the gangster ending. Now, depending on which mission that you choose at the start of New York, depends on how long it takes you to finish the game. So, if you have to rescue Ali, so if you choose Luther's heap of junk and you do it this way, then you have to save Ali. However, the reason why I explain that there's two is because the other ending is simply done because of... That's simply done via... how's that done? That is done via you complete Grand Central Switch, at which point this Ali person, whoever she is never heard from. Like, heard of. You never hear of her in the game. Like, at all. So, you know, you're hearing about her now, and you heard about her at the start, but you never heard about her in, if you did the Grand Central Switch. So, I guess, I always call it the gangster ending. There's no, there's either, I'd say there's like the real ending or Ali's ending. So if you do this mission, you save Ali and save her from being killed, I think. But if you do the other one, then she dies, I believe. Or she's never involved in the story. Meaning the gangsters won't keep her alive at all. Also, I love the fact that the music's running slow. So this is one actually funny thing that you can do with this game. There we go. So one of the things that you can do is it's the music can slow down or speed up. It's really stupid. I don't know why this is a thing. It just does. It just takes forever. So sometimes like I said, sometimes the music will be really slow, and other times it will be really fast. Like I said, it's quite funny when it runs slow. So now what we've got to do is we've now got to get Ali back to our safe house. There you go, you see how the music's finally caught up with the speed of the disc. So now what we've actually got to do is we have now got to get her back to our safe house. And you'll notice that there's a car chasing us. That car is a gangster. And also Ali has a few lines as well. Long story short, I believe these are mobster cars. So the mafia who you supposedly, I won't say stole, but supposedly who they kidnapped, who you've rescued, they're trying to stop you to get her back. I believe that's what it is anyway. So that wasn't intended. This is what I mean about the taxis, by the way. The taxis are ridiculous, and also these AI are insanely fast. There we go. Okay, now comes the hardest mission in the game ever. So, I will let you know when time is, but it's basically at the end of this mission. Now, this mission is insanely difficult, that, and it has frame rate drops as well, which doesn't help. And you'll see why. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all speedrunners who are currently watching this, welcome to the President's Run, the last mission in Driver 1. Also known as Complete Hell if you ever tried to complete this game for the first time. You'll know how hard this mission was. Now if we get this first try, this will be a miracle. But if we don't, it's to be expected. Also, I would play in first person view, but I'm not gonna, just for the sake of things. Also, we keep losing the police, which is nice. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I should mention. Two things. one thing I should mention, but yeah, it's two things. So the two things that I should mention. First of all, that this car is insanely tough. So it can survive a fair bit of punishment off other cars. And the second thing as well is that this mission, it goes from day to night. So you'll notice in a minute that it's going slowly darker. Now that just makes the mission more harder, and also you travel through several different conditions as well. So it snows, it rains, it's bloody awful. Also, there is a way that I learnt yesterday, which I remember seeing, because a guy called Iceman, who's currently got the record for this game, he actually did this route, and found it to be quite, as I saw him do it, he was doing it as practice, and I saw it to be a really good route because, basically, long story short, you can not encounter the police as much, and when they do spawn, they spawn on the grass, which they shouldn't do normally. Also, notice how it's going dark now. Oh yeah, one other thing. The police and the AI that are chasing you, yeah, they're insanely OP. I'm thinking I'll probably turn right here. Turn right, yeah. Turn right. Also, the President compliments us on our driving skill. And he missed us. That's pretty fantastic. Oh! Okay, right. Oh no. No! No! Are you kidding me? Are you actually for real? No. Are you joking? Okay. Right. I can still make this. Come on, go, 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 go! Come on! Nearly there! And... Wait for it, wait for it. And... time. Blimey.
It got intense there for a second.
Yeah.
You want to do your final time?
Sure, what was my final time?
It was 1 hour, 26 minutes and 9 seconds.
Ah, not too bad. I was expecting it to be a lot worse because I had that the rescue mission that failed twice over, and we got this first try, which was pretty good.
Sir, you okay?
I'm surprised we survived that, you know, at the end. I didn't think we'd survive. I was like, oh no, no, please don't. And then obviously the cops killed themselves. I was like, yes, I can make it. I'm alive.
You did the thing.
Wasn't too bad. Well, that was pretty good. So just to explain the ending of this game. So our head management. It's a trap, yeah. The head management. I think it's Sergeant Mackenzie. I think he's called. I forgot. But yeah, basically, he's on about getting his stamp, his badge, whatever, his badge back for the force. But because of the fact that he went that undercover, he didn't like the fact that he went too deep undercover and everything, and decided, you know what, I'm not going to take my badge back because I don't like the fact that I was treated as a mule, and you know, and I had to go so deep undercover I nearly blew my cover, and I got so close to the edge. It's like, yeah, I don't deserve to have my, you know, you guys dumped me in it basically. I don't deserve to have my badge. So that's the ending. Yeah, that's the ending of Driver Explained. I do believe if you don't rescue Ali, then what ends up happening is it shows a cutscene of Tanner going across the bridge out of New York. One good thing though about Driver is we have unlocked some cheats, so we've got invincibility, immunity, rear wheel, minis, stilts, and anti-podium. So invincibility kind of speaks for itself, can't get damaged. Immunity, can't get felony. Rear wheel, the car's back wheels turn instead of the front, which makes for some interesting driving. Minis, the cars are basically tiny. Stilts. Stilts basically puts your car up and your car can easily fall over, it's a lot of fun. And then anti-podium is basically where you drive the game upside down, which is my favourite thing to quickly show off, I think. Let's go to New York. Why not? I'll quickly show you what anti-podium is. I think we've got time anyway. But yeah, it's quite funny to watch.
Yep. Bit of time though.
We got time, yeah. Good. It's only briefly anyway. But you can see that the game is much more difficult. Like I said, this is a cheat for this game, so imagine playing the game entirely upside down. Yeah, it would be pretty crazy. And there's a cop. I can't imagine how... Yeah, this is pretty bad. It's even worse when you do that. Because if you look above us, you can see that there's the sky, so it's like if the cars unstick, they just fall. Just flip your monitor. I like your thinking, Georgie. Yeah, I could do. I could do that. What's that?
Yeah. Are you prepared for your second run? Actually.
I can get the second run set up, yeah, sure thing. I don't know if you all go to an intermission or anything, but yeah, it only take me a few seconds to get set up, but...
Yeah, that's good.